Welcome to the Oracle at Mushin Tarot Cast, an added bonus to the Spiritual Phoenix podcast. I'm Ross Cessna, the Oracle at Mushin, and I'll be offering weekly open readings for the collective consciousness. To see the cards, visit the Spiritual Phoenix Studios YouTube channel. I've put a link in the description. We are fan-funded, and you can contribute with the link in the show notes. Other ways to show your support include subscribing to our YouTube channel, leaving us excellent reviews wherever possible, engaging in our content on social media, shooting me an email, and sending an audio message through the Anchor app. This is a community podcast. I'm just the humble host. Let's start the show. All right, what is up, everybody? It is the Oracle at Mushin here, bringing you a transformational tarot reading. And ironically enough, the Oracle card for this week is Transformation. And if you look at this card, there is this yellow in there. So yellow is relative to the navel chakra, which is sense of self. So to me, this dictates kind of this transformation of our sense of self. The yellow is very vibrant, so it's kind of a healthy transformation overall. There is this bird that's associated with Thoth, actually, who is supposed to represent Hermes, wisdom, all of this good stuff. So it's kind of this purity of knowledge, purity of self, purity of understanding. One of the aspects of this card in this right corner here is the Sphinx head. So in one of my in my poetry book, I talk about all of us having this riddle of the Sphinx inside of us. All of us have our own riddle that we have to answer, and to me, this indicates that some of the listeners and viewers of this video are going to get a better understanding of what their riddle is, and maybe begin to answer that themselves and get some more clarity. There's also some elements of, I gotta flip the card around to get a better look at it here. So there's the Eye of Ra in there, which is a very potent symbol. You can do your own research on it. There is this white dragon in there. So dragons are symbols of wisdom, knowledge, power, also like treasure. So there's all of this treasure in the wisdom, and part of that is power to get different choices. I've been reading a lot of Carlos Castaneda lately, and he talks about being a man of knowledge and seeking power in a lot of his books. And once you begin on this path, you really are either capable of humbling yourself and facing these fears and overcoming a lot of these obstacles, or you will be destroyed in your quest for all of this stuff. There's also an Ankh in there. Ankh is kind of the symbol of immortality and continuity. There's a lot of transformation going on, and when you really begin to understand who you are on a soul level, when you really begin to break down what you're about on a soul level, you actually access this immortality in a sense, and also this invincibility on a soul level, which if you don't understand that, you have to do more of your own work, because I can't explain it to those who don't know. If you have to ask, you don't know, I guess. So your very first card for this week in regards to transformation, you have Seven of Bones. So Bones is relative to wands in traditional tarot. Wands is relative to fire and creativity. This card here shows this man confronting this giant demon, and the demon is, there's these little computer monitors and screens in the card as well, with the demon's face on it. And to me, this is really indicative of fighting our own fear and understanding that we create our own fear in situations, and really beginning to confront that by changing the concepts within our mind. I just wrote an article, when you hear this, it'll be last week, and it is about the four enemies that Carlos Castaneda mentions, actually. And the first enemy to a man of knowledge is fear itself. So if you are coming up in this transformational space and you're confronting your fear, you're actually going to be battling with one of the four enemies that Carlos Castaneda mentions. I think that what we really need to do in this space is confront it head on, nip it in the bud now, so moving forward we can have a better experience, and we will move on to the next card. Transformation is coming in regards to your fear if you are willing. So the next card that comes up is healing. Two of stones. So stones are all about emotions. Or stones are associated with water, which is cups in traditional tarot, and cups are associated with emotions. There's this beautiful green in this card. That green is relative to the heart chakra. There is this orange-haired woman, which is kind of, to me, like this creative principle and this sexually energetic principle. Orange is relative to the sacral chakra, which is kind of sex and creative energy. She's wearing this purple cloak. Purple is associated with spirit. So to me, it's spirit kind of healing the mind towards creativity and sexuality. There's this passivity in the male character where he's kind of embodying the female energy. Traditionally, female energy is viewed more as receptive. And the female energy in this is actually being more active. So this is kind of like an alchemical wedding situation. Although it is reversed, and the reversal of that to me would indicate you're going to be transforming from energy flowing the way that it normally does and kind of having this gender swap, which is good. Here's the thing. All of us have both masculine and feminine energy in us. And oftentimes, if we're out of alignment, it's because we're embodying maybe the other gender in some of the traits. And let me explain that further. By that, I don't mean all of this stuff that's popular in our culture now. That's fine. That is what it is. But what I mean more so is being more receptive when we need to be using more masculine energy, or using more of the masculine energy and pushing forward when we need to be more receptive. So finding that balance, part of that balance is found through the heart center and through rest. There's this element of rest in this card, and patience and slowing down. There's also this element of stability because there's these giant monoliths. And I think that's something else, stability. If you look here in Seven of Bones too, he has a very sturdy stance. So stability is kind of one of the transformative properties in all of these cards so far. And stability is even echoed in the card transformation because you have these pyramids in the bottom corner right there. So that's pretty powerful overall. And then you have the Eight of Bows. Bows is relative to swords in traditional tarot. Swords are relative to air. Air is relative to the mind. And this card to me is kind of this energetic vampire space. And it's in the reverse position as well. And there's this kind of dirty yellow in there. There's a dirty sense of self. And to me, that's indicating that this is going to be swapping. You're going to be clearing out some of the energy vampires, but also associating it with swords in particular, or bows and thought. You're going to be freeing up your mind out of a lot of your own energy drain. So if you tie it back into Seven of Bones, which is this fear card, fear is the ultimate mind killer, as it's been said. Fear will zap you of all energy, joy, passion. Fear will freeze you up. Fear will leave you having to be carried. So if we apply this transformative quality to next week, we are going to be able to free up our own energy and walk on our own 2 feet and not be carried. There's going to be this lifting up, and that's echoed throughout the healing. So we're going to be healing next week our fear and kind of our energy drain, getting over all of that. I'm going to give you all one more oracle card, and we'll see what it is. Alchemy. Beautiful. So alchemy in this sense is really about transmuting your base emotions to gold. It really is this transformational property. That's amazing that card came up, by the way. I'm super excited. It really is about turning these shit experiences that we have in life into gold. It's really about getting what you want, getting the most out of your experience, changing things to better you. But one of the prerequisites for alchemy is putrefaction, which to me is kind of exhibited in this card. I talk about putrefaction a lot when I talk about alchemy because for me, it's the least pleasant state of personal development, and it's the one that I think oftentimes in spiritual circles people gloss over the most, although it is essential. And really understanding it on a granular level and really breaking it down and digesting it and getting deeply intimate with putrefaction is incredibly important. So I really hope that you enjoyed this tarot cast. Stay blessed. Peace. Thanks for listening to the show, Phoenix family. Just a reminder, we are fan-funded and you can contribute with the link in the show notes. Other ways to support the show include leaving excellent reviews wherever possible, subscribing to our YouTube channel, engaging with our content on social media, sending me an email, or reaching out via voice message through the Anchor app. Your support is greatly appreciated. Much love and synchronicity. Peace.